Yeah, I think that's a super cool idea and topic. And I think, with every year comes more wisdom and more
Yeah.
experience. And so I don't know, I wouldn't necessarily change anything from my past, but I would probably tell my younger self that you're going to go through some stuff. You're going to make some bad choices, and it's okay. It will make you into a better person.
Hmm.
And, for my older self, it's just being able to accept that and embrace that of that's part of life. It's part of like what makes you you. And
Hmm.
every choice, it leads to a different path. And I believe, there's a reason for that. So, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's some strong advice. I mean, I'm a strong believer that, like, everything does happen for a reason, and I wouldn't take anything back, even at the hard times, being like, okay, change into a better person. But I think it's those moments when you make a mistake and you fall down and you go through the hard times, but it's how you react to them and how you get back up and how you keep going. I think that's what defines us as people, not necessarily our highs and not necessarily our lows, but how we get out of those lows and transform them into highs.
Yeah, that's so true. Very well said. I love that quote that's life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it.
Yeah, that's such a great quote. I've never. Do you know who said that?
No.
It's
But
okay. I think
Google
that's
does.
a. Now Ashley has said it. It's your quote now.
Yes. I can't
Yeah.
take credit. So,
Well, thank you so much for sharing that quote with me. I think that is such an awesome quote. Definitely something I'm gonna
yeah,
remember for
yeah.
a while.
Yeah.
What do you do like as a career now?
So, I'm currently an executive assistant, but I am transitioning to a full-time life coach.
Ooh.
So, goal is just to be able to help people with wherever they're at and make some progress in whatever area they want to, make progress in, and just so that people can live a better, happier life.
Yeah, definitely. Do you have any tips, like just some broad tips, like not trying to get into any specific details, but any broad tips that you'd say, hey, if you're feeling a bit down, these are some things that maybe you could help with your life to get a little bit more on track or take a little bit more control of it?
Yeah, I mean, I think everything in life comes down to perspective. So
Mm-hmm.
I think when bad things happen, I mean, people are naturally going to get into funks, bad moods, bad days, but you can either let the issue go on for 5 minutes. You can let it go on for an entire day. You can let it go on for a week, a month, or a year. It's
Mm-hmm.
literally up to you. You get to create whatever life you want, and it starts with your mindset. So if you focus on something else, like instead of thinking of the problem, try to think of solutions. Like gratitude is so important. If you are thinking of all the things you're grateful for, like I can sit here and be like, I'm so grateful for this beautiful weather. I'm so grateful that I can be outside right now. I'm so grateful to have a friend that I could be at lunch with. There's so many things I could be grateful for. So I could have had a really, really bad morning. I could be going through something bad in my personal life. But when you start to think about all the things that are going good and all the
Mm-hmm.
things that you're grateful for, it so quickly changes your perspective. And I think you can do that in many different ways, in many different aspects of your life, and it'll definitely help.
Yeah, definitely. I think if you're feeling really down, I think like a very like I don't know the word right now, but like a very quick shift can kind of do that. Like if you start writing down like, okay, well, this is what I'm grateful for. That very sudden energy shift, I think, could really help because that's like,
Absolutely.
yeah, I've read so many things that like it's like on the smaller aspect, but if you're like really sad and like you try to say like, have you ever said like the word bubbles like really angrily? It shifts your mood so quickly because you're
Bubbles.
like bubbles. It like it does, and it just makes you laugh so hard that you're like, oh wow, it
I'm
shifts that
being ridiculous
energy.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that that's such a great thing. Perspective is everything, and that's how, how we get through those lows in life is perspective and being like, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm grateful. It's really hard right now, but I'm going to be grateful. I'm grateful what I have right now, and I'm going to keep going and I'm going to keep building that.
Yeah, absolutely. Another
Yeah.
quote that I really like that I think Jim Rohn said this, and I heard it from my dad when I was younger, and it always stuck with me. It's whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you think you can do something, you're going to be able to do it. You're going to figure it out. If you think, oh, I can't do that, I'm a girl, I'm too young, you know, whatever, you're never going to be able to do it because you're putting yourself in that kind of a mindset. So I really love that, you know, simple motto of like, it's again, it goes back to the mindset. You got to have the right mindset and think you can do something. And that puts you in a mindset to think of opportunities and potential versus all of the circumstances and obstacles in your way.
Yeah, definitely. Mindset is everything and everything. Like anything in life, not even business, just personal. There's so many times when like I try to have a positive mindset for everything, and when I like slip, like if I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm not gonna like this food for dinner, and then I don't, and I'm like, well, I
Same
kind
with
of saw
me.
that coming. I'm like, well, maybe if I had a different mindset, and then I'm like, no, well, but yeah, mindset is everything, and people definitely underestimate it, but it's the most powerful thing we could ever use in our life.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. The brain is crazy powerful.
it
So,
definitely is.
anyone that thinks that they don't have control over their life, they're sadly mistaken because
Mm-hmm.
they're telling themselves that.
Yeah, definitely. That's a great way to put it. Well, thank you so much for taking the time today. Is there any last thing you'd kind of like to throw out there before we wrap it up? I think you've shared so many amazing points.
Well, I appreciate that. I think, you know, it would just be that concept of like I didn't really realize how powerful the brain and the mindset was until I got into my mid and late 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if I would have known that at 17, I
Yeah.
could have had many more like positive good years and not waited so late in my life to like really start feeling in control of my life and confident and you know just just good years, I guess I would call it.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
I hope you take this at your 17-year-old wisdom and apply it and can enjoy more good years.
Yeah, I definitely will. This has been such a helpful conversation. I've definitely learned a lot of things that are put into perspective that sometimes we can forget. But I think coming back to those core values and those core things, like okay, my mindset controls everything. My mindset controls my success and my mood and stuff. Those are
Yep.
reminders that we need every day of our life.
Absolutely. Yes, yes. Reminders are so key. It always goes back to the basics. You don't
Hmm.
need to learn new stuff. You just got to remember the basics.
Definitely awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time today. It's been a pleasure, and enjoy the rest of your lunch.
Well, thank you. It's been a pleasure talking to you too, and I hope you have a great rest of the day.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye.
Bye.